Aloha and welcome to episode 7 of the Buddy Check. This is the final part 3 of our e-learning marketing toolkit workshop. In this episode, we'll be walking you through how to use Canva with the marketing assets provided in the e-learning kit to allow you to customize them, download them, and of course, use them for your own needs. So let's get started. But let's really focus on what we have here. On page 11, so we just got done looking at all the different web banners. Rob did a good job of explaining where those can be used and how they should be used. But let's really see what we can do with all these. So you essentially see a drop-down list here of all the different assets and the different sizes that you have available. Keep in mind the social post sizing can also be used in advertising through Facebook and Instagram, as well as the web banners can be used, like Rob had said, through Google advertising. If you're doing display network ads or something of that nature, you can use this imagery to capture their attention and drive more divers in. So what I want to do is just really show you how to customize these assets. And one of the things that has gained a lot of steam over the last few years and might be underutilized in our industry is a social story, right? Whether it's via Facebook or Instagram, and of course this all kind of started through Snapchat. That's kind of where the whole story idea kind of culminated. But we're going to show you how to take these assets and then make them your own. So let's say, for instance, you want to push out a social story on rescue divers. All you have to do is simply click that link, and because we already have our Canva account logged in, it actually links directly into Canva. The way we designed them was to make it so that as soon as you click that link, it prompts you straight to Canva, and all you have to do here is simply click on Use Template. And once you click that button, it'll actually populate it in the design software, the free design software of Canva. Now, the cool thing about Canva is that it essentially takes Photoshop and makes it accessible to everyone. You might not necessarily know how to use Photoshop, but this does a lot of the same, but in a much easier drag and drop format, and everything's already preloaded there for you. So you'll notice that when you click on any of these tabs that were located here in the kit, it'll actually pull up 2 different designs available for you to customize. And you'll notice that that is available here, see? So option 1 and option 2. And of course, you can alter these if you like the image, or swap out the image with something you have, and I can show you how to do that as well. Now, once you're in this software, it's actually really easy to edit things. And all of these fonts are the same fonts that we used in our brand guidelines that Rob covered earlier. You'll notice here we have the Seek Adventure tagline, and then of course your call to action: start your PADI Rescue Diver course online, prompting the user to consider e-learning as their option for knowledge development. We also have our current PADI logos here, and since we have released our new tagline of Seek Adventure, Save the Ocean, we did actually reformat our logos slightly. You may have noticed that, but it's not too drastic. But just know that all the logos here are the valid ones available. So say, for instance, you just simply wanted to change your text and change a different message here. All you have to do is simply click on the box. As soon as it's outlined there, you'll notice I highlighted it with my cursor, and you can essentially type in whatever you would like to promote. Now, not only can you change that copy, so we'll keep it back to what it was, you can also change its location. So you'll notice if you hover over it and the little crosshairs show up, you can take it and move it essentially anywhere you'd like. And it has those handy dandy guidelines to show you where the center is and so forth, and you can essentially move it to the top if you would like. And of course, if you don't like the white text because this exists on a light background, you can also take it, highlight it, and then go up here to your text color and swap it to whichever color you prefer. So let's try a red color. You'll notice that changed that automatically to red. So in those brand guidelines, we did provide those hex codes, and if you'd like to, you can actually add that color palette in it. It's pretty easy to do. I've already filled these in, but that is these are actually our brand colors, and you'll notice that code below there coincides with the same codes that we provided. So if you go up to new color, you'll notice this area that has these strange numbers and letters in it. If you drag this, you'll notice those change, right? And that's just formatting for designers to ensure they get the exact color they prefer. And of course, if you want one of the colors off of the kit, you just toggle back to that, go look at the brand guidelines and say, all right, I want this patty blue. Copy that code or remember it, toggle back here, and copy and paste. And now you have the patty blue color. So pretty easy function there in terms of changing the text, changing your message, changing the color. You can also increase the font size rather easily, or of course, change the font type. And there are many, many free fonts available through Canva. The ones with the little crowns, gold crowns off to the side are the paid for fonts. But if you'd like to simply change it to another font type, just click on it. It'll do it all automatically for you there. Now, like we said earlier, we use Noto Sans for this campaign. So if you type in Noto Sans, it'll actually pull up all the options available for you. And of course, defaulting to the generic Noto Sans, and it switches it right back. Now, also keep in mind that if you do something that you don't like you place this in the wrong area or accidentally drag and drop it, this little back arrow will undo that and place it back into your area, making those corrections rather easy and seamless. So let's say we move this back down to where it was originally located. Let's change that font type back to white. And let's play around with this a little more. You'll see we have the logo here, right? Let's say you want to co-brand this piece. You'll notice here over on the left-hand side, there's an upload section, and you can actually take your logo, upload the media straight off your desktop, or you can even drag and drop it in, and simply take this, drag it onto the format, size it to where you prefer. And since everything's white, let's go ahead with the white Project Aware logo. Scale that down and just envision this like it's your business logo, or potentially if you're promoting like a tech course, you could put the Patty Tech logo here, or of course conservation in this manner. You can use Project Aware logos. So back on the kit, I want to show you one thing. Let me pull that up for you. Below the section that lists all of the different assets and their sizing, you'll see this Patty Logos hyperlink. If you click on that Patty Logos hyperlink, it'll actually bring you to a Dropbox of various formats of those logos. Now, I am going to show you a different area. You'll notice these are broken down by print, web, vector, if you have the means of using Photoshop or Adobe Illustrator or something similar, and of course the new Seek Adventure Save the Ocean logos as well. You just click through here, choose the application. In this case, it's going to be web. And for this web version, we're probably going to use a PNG because that's a low file size but a high resolution image. And then you'll notice these different DPI settings. The higher the DPI, the higher the file size. So in an application like this where it might be rather small, let's say we'll go with the medium size DPI, and now there are all the different layouts of logos for you to choose using the new logos that we have available. This one here, you can see it's white text, and then of course all black, and then different formats as well. So if you need the logos, that's a great place to find them. However, we also have on the main marketing resource page a link to the previous digital marketing kit with all the resources that we have available. If you click on this, it will drive you to Dropbox where that older kit existed. And in here, it'll essentially bring up this folder structure of all the different assets available to you, from youth programs, entry level, from DSD through open water and reactivate, Con Ed with all the specialties and advanced open water rescue and so forth, professional education, some of the niche courses as well, free diver, tech rec, public safety diver. You possibly have a swim school, project aware. And then of course we have this logos as well. Now this will actually provide you more resources than the previous link in that it not only provides the standard PADI logos, but also your retail and resort designations. So if you want to include that you're a 5-star IDC, you can go here and find those logos to pull out and use in whatever application you prefer. EFR, like we said, Tech Rec, Aware, PSD, Freediver, and then of course, Seek Adventure, Save the Ocean. So don't forget about this old digital marketing kit. It comes in handy, not only with those logos, but I'll also show you here that it comes in handy with swapping imagery. So you'll notice this is a static image here. And if, for instance, you don't like that image and you want to use something else, you could simply highlight that image by clicking on it. You'll see the turquoise box surround it. And then all you have to do is just press delete and it disappears. Now, all the text that was there is still visible, but because it was white, of course, you can't see it, right? And let's say you want to use a different image and we want to pull that image into the software. Just go to your desktop or wherever you store your images, or pull them from PADI. For instance, in this same previous digital marketing kit, we have the huge image and video library here, where you can scroll through and find an insane amount of images pulled straight from the PADI archive, of which you have full rights to use in any of your marketing on your website, print, email, whatever it is you prefer. You can use any of these images for you. That's simply part of being a PADI member. So let's say you wanted to pull a different image in and you uploaded that using the upload media button here. It'll pull it in and give you different options on where to find that picture. Maybe you want to pull it from your Facebook page or your Instagram, even your own Dropbox, or if you click device, of course, that's coming from your computer. Click on that, find the image on your computer and pull it in, and it will essentially load them down here in a nice, easy format. Now that we have this blank screen without an image behind it, if you just take your uploaded image and drag it in, oops, sorry, let's try that again. Sorry, give me just 1 second here. There we go. If you just pull it in and hover it over the formatted box, it'll actually size it to fit that particular format. Now, if you don't like where it's located or the orientation of the image, if you go up to crop, it'll show you that it actually cropped the majority of this image because this is a vertical format. And you can simply take it, move it off to the side. It gives you the guidelines to show if it's centered or not. And click there. Once you've found the area that you like, up here, there's a little done button. Click done, and now your image is formatted to fit the format. Or I guess that was repetitive, but formatted here to fit within inside the boundaries of the ad or media piece that you're creating. And then of course you can move the text however you so choose. And of course, place the logos at the top, even swap out the logos if you prefer, and you're ready to go. So you'll notice that we do have 2 different designs here. And of course, I changed the image here and it doesn't really speak to rescue diving anymore. But if, for instance, you change the text to really provide that message that you wanted your clients to know or to embody the characteristics of your dive center, and you're ready to download that piece, this easy download button up here takes care of all of the downloading needs for you. Now, one thing to note on the download button, it does provide it in PNG, and that's what I'd recommend for this application if you're using it in a digital format, whether it's your website, social media, or email. But notice here at the bottom where it says select pages, it's actually going to download both pages. Let's say, for instance, I'm only interested in downloading the first page. Just click that box. Once you click done and download, it'll automatically prompt you to download that completed piece. And this pop-up shows up, but you don't really need that, just exit out. And right down here, we now have a rendered copy of that advertisement. So once it's downloaded, just store that on your computer, and then of course you can post that to social media. Whether you're using the desktop version, you can email it to yourself and use it on your phone if you're more familiar with using social media on your phone. Or I know, for instance, like Instagram, the desktop version of Instagram isn't very user friendly. So in this case, it would be easier for me to just airdrop using Apple products, airdrop it to my phone and then post it, or email it to myself, save it to my photo library, and then post it that way. Now, we did show you the social stories, but I do want to show you a few more things that would come in handy. For instance, on this same page here, as Rob mentioned, if you're using these for email assets, and let's say we wanted to create an enriched air diver email, we simply click on that hyperlink again. It'll bring up the two different formats linked directly straight into Canva. You can see here by toggling to the side the two different designs. Simply use template, and it will pull up a new screen within their design software where you can now edit this version as well, once it populates here. All right, so of course, like we know previously, we go to our uploads button and we can pull in our own logo. For instance, if we wanted to use Rob and I's Buddy Check logo from our video series, we can drag that in, pull it where we want to, downsize it, and then of course, reorient the rest of the text to fit within our design. And now you have your own fully customizable piece here. Now also keep in mind there's other things that Canva allows you to do. If you want to add an element into your imagery, you can do that. Just know that the little crowns that say Pro next to them, if you hover on them, are the paid for assets. But for instance, this one shows free, and say we wanted to use an arrow to improve the message delivery of what we're doing, we simply drag that in. It formats it to one size. We can resize it, place it where we would like, and now that becomes an integral piece of this marketing asset as well. There's lots of different shapes, sizes, lines, stickers, charts, whatever it might be that you wanted to use in this format. So let's go ahead and take that off. Now, once you create your email header and you're wondering what to write about, know that in that same marketing kit, below the email resources, we actually included example email copy. And I pulled up a version here. This will lead you to a Word document saved within Dropbox that provides you kind of a turnkey resource for copy, so you don't have to think up everything on your own. Of course, you can copy this into your email service and then edit it how you prefer with whatever calls to action or inspiration you want to add. But just know that these assets are available here for you and do cover quite a few topics, including open water, advanced, rescue, dive master, enriched air, and dry suit. Now you'll notice here we only cover 6 of the e-learning products available. If you scroll to the next page in the kit, we actually have course imagery outside of the other marketing kit specific to the other e-learning courses that are available. You can either click full library to bring up all the courses, or if you're only interested in one, for instance, click on that one that you're interested in. If you do click full library though, it'll bring up a Dropbox as well. I know some of you have difficulty using Dropbox because of some military recommendations or constraints. If that's the case and you do need imagery specific to something, just let me know and I can figure out a different method to get it to you. But in this specific image library, you have the course options like we saw previously with all the different e-learning courses available and other courses as well. And then lifestyle imagery. So if you wish to create your own ad that embodies something differently or shows the use of e-learning in a different application, well, I guess they use pictures of me using an iPad here with e-learning. But lots of different choices here. Simply download those. And like we said previously, you can replace the image that you have available by highlighting it, pressing delete. going to your uploads button and choosing a new image to pull in. Easy as pie, right? Just make sure if you are using our preset templates that the messaging and copy coincides with what you're trying to get across. So enriched air in this case might not be relevant because it doesn't really show that, but the guy is holding a camera. Granted, he's more enthralled with the tiger shark sitting next to him, but of course you can change this to whatever you prefer. So these are the email headers and easy download as well. I do want to let you know, like we said previously, in the handout section of this webinar in the control panel there, you will find 4 different kits available. We have access to the English marketing toolkit, the Korean marketing toolkit, simplified Chinese, and traditional Chinese. I'm working to get the Japanese translations as well. But if you're using your own computer and it's configured to, for instance, type in a different language because that's your native language, or you prefer to market to your clients in, for instance, Japanese, you can simply copy and paste those characters in here, and that will work as well. But I will show you a version that I uploaded previously. Let's see, let's go to our home button here. See if I can get it to work. All right, it's thinking. You'll notice I pulled in these templates prior from our Korean marketing toolkit that has all of the turnkey text already translated for you and accessible as soon as my computer reacts. So all of those taglines and copy are already available and translated. Like I said, we have that in Korean, simplified Chinese, and traditional Chinese, Japanese soon to come. But all this is available for you. And if you can't download it from the handout section of this webinar, just let me know and I will forward it on over to you. So for instance, here is the Korean marketing kit that previews all the different formats we have available. Now keep in mind that Rob did cover the web banners here, and you'll notice these web banners do have the shop now call to action. These are the ones that you will want to use if you just need a turnkey fix to attach those affiliate e-learning links. And previously in this kit, we covered the e-learning affiliate links. This hyperlink right here off to the right-hand side leads you to this document, which shows you how to create those links with all the different e-learning options specific to your store, ensuring that you get that revenue share if they purchase it through that link. So when using the web banners that have the Shop Now button, of course, you can customize your own if you prefer, but just make sure that there is a call to action on these pieces and that you do link them, hyperlink them using that affiliate e-learning link before placing them on your website or within the body of an email, or even in an advertisement through Facebook or social media. So with all the assets that we have available here, we covered one of the social story formats. Everything operates in the same manner. The web banners with the 3 different sizes, depending on what you prefer, and the email header assets with the turnkey email copy as well that you can customize on your own before sending out. We covered, of course, the different images that are available and took a view at the full image library. We also looked at the previous marketing kit where you can find a ton of other imagery as well. And then finally on this, in the kit, there are lots of other different resources that we linked in here specific for you to watch if you would like. How to create engaging social content, how to use MailChimp for email if you're new to the Eve MailChimp integration or you use MailChimp off to the side. Constant Contact, of course, works similarly. Looks like we have a question. It says, are there guidelines for ways you can and cannot manipulate Patty logos like color dropping, shadows? It seems so with the Patty logos that we use, the Patty logos are designed proprietarily for Patty, and you do have free reign to use them, but altering them is not allowed. So a drop shadow, for instance, probably well, a drop shadow wouldn't incite us to bring up any issues with you. But if you're actually changing the colors or the format of how the text interacts with the actual globe logo, that's going to come into question. Truncating logos, meaning voiding a portion of the logo or removing a portion of the logos, is prohibited as well. But if you have any questions about that, just reach out to us. I can certainly help you out. If it's something that you just, you know, kind of questionable, but doesn't really seem like it's altering the format or the functionality of that logo, it's probably okay, but probably best to check with us first. In these PADI resources, of course, there is the step-by-step guide on designing from scratch. So if, for instance, you're using Canva and you like these, but you want to try your hand at your own design, just know that there's a ton of different options here for you, and it lays it out pretty well for you. So social media, events, marketing, documents, whatever it might be that you want to create, you can simply click on here. Let's say we want to create a poster for our retail floor. We click on that option and it'll bring up different formats available for us. You can resize them to fit the needs. This is going to provide you standard formats, 24 by 30, 24 by 36 in terms of inches, some larger, some smaller, but you can change all that sizing depending on what you want. The cool thing is that Canva provides you turnkey designs already. So if you see something you like, you can kind of work off of that and then customize it to fit your own needs. For instance, if we kind of like the layout of this format, it'll pull in all those different elements. You'll notice that each of these different clip art pieces are separate. So you can remove one and replace it with something else. If you would like, going through the uploads, kind of like we talked about earlier, pulling in a PADI logo, sizing it to fit. Obviously, this in case of emergency. Doesn't really apply to what we're doing here, but just to show you how easy it is to customize your own, and then of course, print or download those. You'll notice this downward arrow key allows you to download that in the format, PDF format, so it retains that resolution. All right, so I think we covered pretty much everything here. Fairly lengthy walkthrough on how to use the kit, the different kits and languages that are available, the extra resources, and everything that we created turnkey for you. So know that the previous marketing kits that we created, the Seek Adventure kit and some of the other Dive Local kits and things like that, also use the Canva tool. So you can use those to customize them to your own needs. And of course, if you have any questions, Rob and I are here anytime you need to answer those for you. And we can actually walk you through this in real time as well if that was a little too quickly for you. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you next week or see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.